Welcome to another edition of Islanders Insider. I'm Stephen King coming to you from the locker room once again, and we're going to be talking some Islanders hoops today with head coach Willis Wilson of the men's program and, of course, Royce Chadwick of Islanders women's basketball. We'll also check in with Dixie Lee as he tells us more about the Dugan Wellness Center, the official athletic facility on campus here at Texas A&M University Corpus Christi. But right now, we're going to talk some men's hoops with the head coach of Islander men's basketball, Coach Willis Wilson. Coach, how are you?
I'm doing fine, Stephen. How are you?
Doing well. Appreciate you being here. Coming off of a tough week, but when you look back on everything as a whole, Coach, that's 11 games in 31 days that you've played. Now, only one team in the nation has played more games so far. Has this heavier schedule possibly more of a grind on the players than maybe we anticipated?
Well, I think it's a number of things. I mean, when you go back and you look at what's happened here in recent weeks, it really feels like Groundhog Day, just day after day after day, kind of common threads. And the lack of practice time, I think, has contributed to some of that. Although when you go back and you look at some of the opportunities where we had chances to win basketball games, those are confidence builders, and it just totally changes the dynamic of your team. And so over that stretch, things can go either way. At the end of the day, we're going to have to kind of go back to basics. We have a little bit of time now, get some guys rested, get back to fundamentals, and refocus. The monumental task that's in front of us really is not going to be based upon trying to do monumental things. Mm-hmm. It's going to be based upon just shoring up some of the little things.
Well, it was a tough week, a couple losses along the way, but one of the big positives that came out of the week, though, was the return of Rashawn Thomas. It's great to have him back. The high expectations coming in, the unfortunate accident which sidelined him for a number of weeks. Now his first game back came in in Oklahoma, where he comes from, and against the Sooners he puts up a double-double in his debut for the year. How great was it to see him on the court?
It was really good. I mean, I was really excited for him, especially for him to be able to play his first game in front of his mom and his brother and family and friends. I thought that was an awesome opportunity for him. He's going to be a terrific basketball player, and the double-double numbers are more the norm for him than the exception. The next game against UT Permian Basin didn't fare so well, fouled out in I want to say 5-6 minutes of playing time. So there's some adjustments that have to be made along the way, but Rashawn Thomas has a bright future as an Islander. He's going to be a terrific basketball player for us, and he's going to make a big difference this season.
I don't think there's any doubt about that. Now, as has been addressed nowadays, wherever in the media, again, he had a broken jaw, and he had a face mask, head guard, call it whatever you want, that was made for him. Have you ever seen a mask like that one before, and is he comfortable with it?
Well, he's got to be comfortable with it because he doesn't have much choice to wear it, but it's more of a halo than a mask. Just surrounds his face, and any kind of impact is going to be absorbed by that mask. It's snug enough to protect him, but it's also kind of fits to where if he gets a blow, it's going to carry him off his face and take a lot of that shock with it. So I think the design is a really good one, and it's one that's going to allow him to get back on the floor sooner rather than later. So we're excited that he's wearing it.
Yeah, no vision impairment. Everything is pretty clear.
No vision impairment. I think the biggest thing for him is just to kind of get used to wearing that headgear in game situations.
Sure. Now, with Rashawn coming back to the court, it adds some definite needed depth to the front court. We talked a little bit about that previously. Now, you have two talented guys to go with him, but each have had their ups and their downs, and Rashawn's going to have his ups and his downs along the way as well. But we've talked a lot about consistency. Will his presence help Jeff Beverly and Zane Knowles?
I don't think there's any question. If you just go back and look at our last outing against UTPB, the fact that he was not able to play in that game because of the foul trouble really had an adverse impact on our basketball team. He is a guy that when he's on the floor, he's going to be productive. He's going to be able to score. I think the unfortunate thing for him is he was overly aggressive and picked up 2 offensive fouls early in the ball game, and those are the kind of fouls that we just can't afford to have our big guys picking up. Occasionally, if you're going to get one setting a screen, but in a post-up situation, you just got to let the game come to you a little bit more. So that's something that we can work with him on, and we will make those adjustments as we go along. I think the thing that we have to have a little bit more, not just from Rashawn, but from our entire basketball team, is a sense of urgency about how important the little things are.
There is no doubt. No, as we said, and we've talked about it again, some adversity this past week, the 2 losses, but how do you keep the team focused on the bigger picture, getting themselves prepared, getting ready week to week, and also ultimately getting set for Southland Conference?
Well, I think it's twofold. One is accountability, accountability for the things that we can do better. And to use the other night's game as an example, when you have a lead and you have an opportunity to build the lead and you get to the free throw stripe, you got to make free throws. We had a stretch where we missed 6 or 7 in a very, very short span. A couple of front ends of 1-on-1s where we have a chance to extend a lead into double digits and really grow it to around 14, 15 points. That makes a world of difference in a basketball game, and it boils down to things that simple. We're putting ourselves in position. We want to be in the 1-on-1. We want to shoot the double bonus as early in the half as we can, and unfortunately that was a situation where it kind of bit us in the rear end.
When it comes to free throws, just a quick question. I know that people ask me how much work they put in. I tell people all the time they put in lots of work in free throws. They do lots of work after the end of practice, but I know also there's a lot of drills that are designed to get them as tired as possible and then get them to the line right then and there in practice to try and simulate more of a game situation.
No, that's exactly right. I mean, we come in the night before games and every guy gets up 50 free throws. We shoot a minimum of 30 at the end of each practice when guys are fatigued. We shoot them throughout the course of practice, live situations. I think that's one of the best ways for guys to develop that concentration. We have a drill called one-on-one operational where guys play one-on-one, and at the end they're really spent and exhausted, and we shoot free throws in those situations. We've got to begin to get carryover, and I think that's a big part of it, and then we just have to have a couple key guys. Funny thing about a young team, everything is momentum, and it can be positive momentum or negative momentum. We're putting ourselves in position to win games, and now we need 1 or 2 guys to step up and hit a key free throw, hit a key shot that gives us that momentum where these guys can follow suit.
Now, it is the second week of December, and you only have 2 games left until 2014. Now, there's a good break coming along the way here. You've had a tough schedule at this point. I know it's a welcome break. What will you do differently with additional practice time?
Well, we're going to go back to fundamentals. I mean, we're going to spend a lot of time making some adjustments, some small shifts in our defense. We've got to be better at containing penetration and challenging three-point shooters. We will do some, what I would call sort of military-style, regimented kind of training where we can develop some confidence in each other and our ability to get certain tasks done on the floor. And it just means a lot of repetition. It will be challenging, but it'll be a good thing for a team. When I say challenging, we're not in the business of trying to beat kids up. We're trying to build kids up, and so the things that we'll do in practice will be designed to build confidence.
Coach, before we go today, could you talk a little bit about your lone national letter of intent signee, Joe Kilgore?
Joe, in a word, is a scorer. He's something that we really need. He's a dynamic player. He's very, very athletic. He's a little bit slightly built right now, but I think some time in the weight room will cure that. But he has a knack for putting the ball in the hole. He can slash, very deceptively athletic when he's going to the rim, and he can really shoot the ball. I just love his touch. I like guys that can shoot the ball, and I think he'll fit the mode that we want in a 6'4", 6'5" wing that can score the basketball. And just really, really excited. He's off to a good start this season, and hopefully we'll have a chance to follow a lot of success from Joe over the course of the season.
We'll have to keep up with him, that's for sure. Coach, I appreciate your time today, and again, take advantage of that time down, get some good practice in, and we'll see you back on the court.
All right, thank you.
When we come back to more Islander Insider, we'll be joined by Dixie Lee as she shows us a little bit more about the Dugan Wellness Center.
What's Massage Envy Spa? For me, it's healthy, it's affordable. I mean, he always wants
pain relief.
Right. And I want a healthier complexion. And now we can get a customized massage or a healthy skin facial.
At a really good price.
At a great price. And nothing feels better than that.
Customized massages and healthy skin facials, all at the perfect price. Start a healthy routine today with Massage Envy Spa.
Go, you'll see.
Welcome back to Islanders Insider. At this time, we're going to turn things over to Dixie Lee as she tells us a little bit more about the home of Islanders volleyball, the Dugan Wellness Center.
Among a large group of strong athletic facilities at Texas A&M Corpus Christi is the Dugan Wellness Center, the home of Islanders volleyball.
Dugan, great place to play college volleyball. It's a great environment.
good crowds. It's kind of grown as the program has grown. Players love playing here, and we've created a real advantage here. There's no secret, when we first got here, this was the first year the building opened, and the program was struggling. It was not that great, and so crowds were only here on Dig Pink Night, and that was pretty much it. And now they see when we have a big match on the schedule, and it's not a unusual thing to see 900 or 1,000 people in the stands.
Oh, you bet. It creates a tremendous home court advantage for us because the stands, the seats are right on top of the court. It seats 11 to 1,200. You know, we continuously get 600 to 800 students in there that are loud. That building, it's very loud in that gym too. Between points, or when we make a kill or we make our points, it's very intimidating.
This season, the Islanders led the Southland Conference in attendance with nearly 600 fans per match and 2 crowds of over 1,200 people.
When we go to other schools in the conference and we see smaller crowds, and you know, our players see that, and they kind of get that feeling that when we get home, we know what it's all about, and they really enjoy being back at home and showing it off. Recruits want to play in front of a good crowd, and they see that we're leading the conference in attendance, and they come to a match during their visit and they see what it's all about, and it's easy to really get excited about it.
Our crowd is always amazing. I absolutely love, I mean, we've got the cheers that they do, the dances. I mean, they just get crazy, and every time we get a point, we know that they're behind our back, and you know, if there's times we don't have a point, you know, they still got it.
The highlight every year is the annual Dig Pink match, which helps promote breast cancer awareness and is a true event for the Island University campus.
And it's one of these things that on campus they get really behind it. There's a marketing class on campus that does all the promotions for that and designs the t-shirts, and they really get behind it, and it's so much fun to walk in here. Even at 5, 6 o'clock before the match starts, you look out on the lawn and there's so much stuff going on and so much involvement, and then the crowd itself during the game is outrageous.
It's always awesome playing in front of a huge crowd. You know, this is our biggest turnout every year, and it's just great because to get the crowd involved, you know, when we're getting major points, it's just getting us that much more momentum that is putting the other team down on the other side of the net. So it's awesome having huge crowds going nuts. You don't want them to be quiet. You want them just getting amped up, getting in the other team's face, and that really helps us out a lot.
The facility also played host to the 2013 Southland Conference Volleyball Championship, another banner event for the Dugan.
It was nice for those fans to come in that hadn't been down here. You know, all the teams that came into play had been to our facility. For those fans to come down to Corpus Christi, to be able to see our city, to see that this is a vacation destination. We know that we probably got some fans that have decided, you know, we want to go back down there and vacation. It also brought up a lot of fans that were local that came out that probably hadn't been out here on campus before, hadn't been out in years because there was a volleyball tournament. So it got them out here to the island to see what a great place this is. A wonderful institution, a beautiful campus, a beautiful facility to come in and see how nicely lit up it is, a great facility for volleyball. So it's a really tremendous asset for our campus, our university, especially our athletic department, but also the city of Corpus Christi.
Yeah, I thought it was a special weekend, and really meant a lot for our program and the university to be able to do something like that. And I thought we ran a first-class event, and there was so much good feedback, and it was great to see our fans and our community get behind it and give them a chance to see really what we've been working toward these last few years, and hopefully we'll be able to do it again real soon.
For Islanders Insider, I'm Dixie Lee.
It's a pivotal year in Islanders basketball. Our teams have spent the summer training, preparing, and working on the foundation for the coming year. We are going to play with intensity, determination, and passion. We're ready to make a statement in the Southland Conference. Join us on our journey to the tournament. Islanders basketball season tickets are on sale now. Visit GoIslanders.com or call 825-BALL to purchase your tickets today.
Welcome back to Islanders Insider as we talk some Islanders women's basketball with the head coach of the women's program here at Texas A&M University Corpus Christi, Coach Royce Chadwick. Coach, how are you?
I'm good, Stephen. How are you?
Doing good, doing good. For your squad this past week, kind of a tale of 2 different performances. It was pretty interesting. Thursday overtime loss to UTSA, and then the efficient, really confident win against UTPA on the weekend. Outside of shooting percentages, what were the glaring differences between those 2 contests?
Well, I think we did too much for the San Antonio game in allowing our players to get themselves ready. Very difficult, I think, when you have a home facility that's not on campus, and we haven't played a lot of games there. And so we basically turned it over to the seniors and said, okay, y'all get everybody ready and let's get them there, and let's all meet at the arena. And then it didn't work. We weren't ready to play. We didn't start out the right way. So for the Pan American game, we treated them like they had no clue what they were supposed to do, and we were going to do it for them. So we loaded them up on the bus here. We took them to the facility. I actually went out, warmed them up, showed them how to warm up, and we were a much more timely team. And that's pretty much on us. I mean, we thought they knew what to do, and they didn't know what to do. So we'll be better prepared for the next home game when we go down to the American Bank Center.
And that kind of pregame routine directly can change the mindset of a team just going in.
Well, you wonder, okay, now this team is not playing well at home, and they're winning all their road games. Why?
Okay.
So we're winning our road games because we have them quarantined in a hotel. We have them doing exactly what we tell them to do, when to do it, what time to do it, how much of it to do. When we're at home, we say, okay, go do your thing and, get off your feet, and you go to your apartment, and we aren't there monitoring everything. So we monitored everything for the Pan American game, and we started out the right way and finished the right way. So we have to monitor things, so we'll just get that done.
But one thing your team did do, even in the UTSA game, the game that you lost, you trailed. You found your way back into the game, though. You scratched and clawed, and with 4 minutes to go, ultimately found yourself in the lead with that game. Unfortunately, was unable to hold it as it went to overtime in the final seconds. But, your team, even though they were playing poorly, still found a little bit of wherewithal to have a little grit and fight their way back in. Now, is that something that you can coach, that fight, that grit, or does it really have to be inherently in the player?
I think it's something you can polish a little bit, but you either have the innate desire to overcome, or sometimes you just throw up the white flag. And we are a resilient bunch of players, good character people. We knew that in recruiting, and I think that's something that you can understand from watching a player play in high school. When you've seen them play in high school, they don't win every game. And the games they aren't winning, you can learn more about them sometimes than you can in the games that they're winning. How does that player respond? And we try to recruit that kind of character, and we have that character on our team. Got a lot of freshmen playing an awful lot of minutes, and they are doing a great job, but they're going to make mistakes. They're going to make inexperienced mistakes, and we have to live through those right now, but hopefully that's going to pay us some huge dividends in the next 3 or 4 years.
Do you train your athletes to put things behind them and have short memories and just get ready to move forward?
We basically quoted them a song, yesterday is over the shoulder, so I can't look back for too long. There's too much to see waiting in front of me, so I know that I just can't go wrong. And that's what we told them after the San Antonio game. We got to get ready for the next one. I mean, I've never been sent home for the season in December. Whatever you learn in December, it helps you get ready for what's coming in March, and that's where you go home. We can't go home in March, so we got to prepare to be ready when March comes to play our best basketball.
Let's talk about the rotation you have right now. It appears that things got really comfortable against UT Pan American. You were able to go 10 deep, even beyond 10 deep, and do it comfortably. Now, is that something that you see your team is getting to that place? Is it mature enough to where you're able to go, let's say, 10 deep on a nightly basis?
Well, I think we will go 10 deep. I think the big hurdle for us is when Taryn Gregory gets the flu. Now, can AC come out and play 38 minutes instead of 28, and can Cassie Jones slide over and play 4 or 5 minutes at the point and help us get through it? When Lexi Harris hurt her muscle, where she pulled the muscle, when we went to Belmont, could we slide Kamisha Davis out there for extra minutes? And they responded to the challenge. And we tell them that in practice, that, are you ready for the next thing? Are you ready for the next challenge that's coming? You don't know what it is. So that's what makes it interesting. Are you going to be ready? And we work on that every day in practice. You got 4 fouls. Now, don't foul out. And so we'll see if we can get to that point where we can overcome more adversity.
Now, Jasmine Shaw, she's been a great find for this team coming in her graduate season, out of Marshall University. She struggled mightily against UTSA, just could not find her shot, just wouldn't go for her, but came back strong with 17 against Pan American. Now, how important is it for the success of the program to continue developing secondary scoring, secondary double-figure scoring for us to ultimately be successful in conference?
It's up to us to develop a secondary scorer. It's up to us to get Brittany Bomalou has yet to start a game that she didn't have double digits. So we gotta get her in a situation where she knows what her role is. Taryn Gregory is not playing as well offensively as she can play. We got to get her going. AC didn't have a great night against San Antonio. She came back and had a good night against Pan American. So we have to get another Brandy Huff going. We got to get Lexi Harris going, and everybody has to do their part and fill their role, and we're working on that every day in practice.
Well, also wanted to ask you about, we've talked about the athletes that are currently on the roster, but we have some future athletes coming our way. Now, most recently, there was the National Letters of Intent that were signed. 4 athletes are coming to Texas A&M University, Corpus Christi Islander women's basketball. Tell me a little bit about these signees.
Well, we have the #1 ranked recruiting class in the Southland again. We have Emery Archer, who is ranked top 50 in the country at her position, who is a combo guard. Darian Fields, who is top 50 in her position, who is a power forward post player. Both those young ladies have great accolades behind them, and we look for big things from them. Ashley James, point guard, is a relentless defender, unbelievable talent. She has like an extra gear. I mean, she is a girl that can come down on the break and then blow by you when she thought she was going full speed. Very well coached. I think her team's won 9 in a row at Marcus High School. Jennifer Ramirez is a combo guard that played for, well, I signed at Marshall, and when we left, she left, and she is coming out of junior college, and a tremendous talent, had 4 double-doubles so far in her season. Going to be a very good player for us. So we really like our recruiting class, and honestly, Stephen, we've had back-to-back #1 ranked recruiting classes now. That gives you a program. One good recruiting class gives you a team. That's what we have right now. We have a team. We got a team that's formidable, and we'll hopefully go out and play for respect and pride, and maybe win some basketball games. But when you want a program, you got to have 2 good recruiting classes, and kudos to our assistants for making that happen.
Well, congratulations. That sounds fantastic, and we're looking forward to the continued success of the program. Off to a great start already, 5-3, and looking to build upon that towards conference, but it's great to see the future.
Well, thanks, Stephen. We're looking forward to it. The fans have been awesome to us, and we really appreciate the support.
Coach, appreciate it.
Thank you.
Royce Chadwick joining us once again here in the locker room. When we come back, we're going to bring you up to speed on what's next for Islander Athletics. Stay with us, more to come. Islander Insider continues. Once again, welcome back to Islanders Insider. At this time, we want to bring you up to speed on what's next for Islanders Athletics. Islanders women's basketball will be traveling to Houston, Texas on December 19th for a 4 o'clock start time to take on Texas Southern. Then on the 21st, they'll continue the road trip as they head to Arlington, Texas to take on UTA at 2 o'clock. Islander men's basketball will return to the Dugan Wellness Center on campus at 7 o'clock on December 20th as they take on Cal State Northridge. And then on December 28th, they'll travel to Minneapolis, Minnesota to take on Minnesota. Once again, we want to thank Willis Wilson and Royce Chadwick for joining us once again here in the locker room, Dixie Lee for bringing us the feature on the Dugan Wellness Center, and of course to all of you for tuning in once again this week. My name is Stephen King. You've been watching Islanders Insider.